Now we will study about the later Vedic period. The Aryans learnt the use of iron in the later Vedic period. So now the Aryans, they have learned to how to use the iron in the later Vedic period. It marked the beginning of the Iron Age in India. So with the use of iron by the Aryans in the later Vedic period, the beginning of the Iron Age in India started. The use of iron tools enabled them to clear the dense forest of the region where they settled down. So as they invented the iron, or you can say they started using the iron. With the help of these iron tools, they used to clear the dense forest so that they can settle down. The Aryans gradually spread among the northern Gangetic plain. So the Aryans, they spread in the northern Gangetic plain of Indian continent, in India. Samaveda, Yajurva Veda and Atharva Veda were composed during this period. So we have already discussed that Rig Veda was composed in the early Vedic period. That's why early Vedic period is known as Rig Vedic period. Similarly, Samaveda, Yajurva Veda and Atharva Veda, these three Vedas were composed during the later Vedic period. Towards the end of this period, the Aryans spread from Ganga Yamuna Delta to Kosala in UP and Vediha in North Bihar. So, earlier in the later Vedic period, they settled down in the northern Gangetic plain. Now they started to spread their uh, territory from Ganga Yamuna Delta to Kosala in UP and Vedaha in North Bihar. Administration. In the later Vedic period, the Ranjan or the tribal chief became very powerful. So, the Ranjan or the tribal chief became very powerful in the later Vedic period. Now he has a proper army and large territories under his command. So now he understood, or now he knew how to use the army, and that's why he had a proper army and a large territories, that means the large area where he look after. His prestige dependent on the extent of the area be controlled. So the prestige of the um, tribal chief or the Ranjan is determined by the area, that how much area he controlled. He assumed different title like Samrat and Maharaja Dhiraja. So he also assumed different titles such as Samrat and Maharaja Dhiraja. To gain more power and expand his kingdom, the Ranjan performed Raja Suya Yajna and Ashwamedha Yajna. So the Ranjan or the tribal chief, they used to perform different types of, you can say, rituals which is known as Rajasuya Yajna and Ashwamedha Yajna, so that they can expand their territories and they can gain more powers. Okay, as the kingdom grew in extent, the king became dominant. So as the kingdom started growing very rapidly, so the king became more powerful and more dominant. That means the king started to suppress the whole all the people of the village. The position of the chief priest also rose in important as he performed the rituals. So just like the position of the king, the position of the chief priest also increased. Why? Because he used to perform different types of rituals for the king. At the village level, the village assemblies carried out the administration. So at the village level, who used to carry out the different types of uh, or you can say who used to look after the village? It was the village assembly. Here is the hierarchy of four varnas in the Vedic society, which we have already discussed. That is the four division of the society, right? That is the Brahmanas, okay, Kshatriyas, Shudras and Vaishyas. Okay, so it is there in the page in the page number 140. Okay, figure 5.3. So at the first is the Brahmanas. Okay, the first, that means the higher section of the society. Then the Kshatriyas, that were they are the warriors who used to protect the whole territory. Then the Vaishyas, Okay, then the Sudras are the poor section of the society, or the workers who used to do the work of all these three sections. So these are the four Varnas in the Vedic society. Okay. Next is social life. During the later Vedic period, a steady decline came in the position of women as they were considered to be inferior to men. So, just like in the early Vedic period, we have studied, right? Women were given more respect, they were given chance to get education and even perform in the different types of religious activities, right? But in the later Vedic period, their position started to decline, that is started decreasing, and now the men were trying to dominate the women in the later Vedic period. Now only women of the upper class could receive education. So now only the women who belong to the upper class, that means Brahmins category, they can receive education. The Brahmanas and Kshatriyas shared the power to rule. So now the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, they try to gain the power, and how they will gain the power? By sharing the powers among each other. Towards the end of the later Vedic period, many Vaishyas shifted their occupation from farming to trade and crafts. So towards the end of the Vedic period, many Vaishyas, they shifted their occupation from farming to the trade and craft. But the Shudras were still deprived of many of the privileges enjoyed by the upper classes. So till now the position or the condition of the Shudras were very poor, and till now they were not getting different types of many privileges, that means extra facilities which were enjoyed by the upper section of the society. By the end of this period, the Varna system became more rigid. So we have already discussed the Varna system, that means the uh, that is the distinction of the society into four categories, right? But now the Varna system was more rigid, that means it was practiced in a more you can say in a more rigid way, or you can say in a more you can say severe way. Okay, occupation came to be related to birth. So now the occupation is decided on the basis of birth, that means in which category they are born. Thus the caste system, which still prevail in our society, came into existence. So now the caste system started evolving in the later Vedic period, and it is still now present in our society. This period also marked the beginning of the hereditary kingship. So now especially in the later Vedic period, it marked the beginning of the hereditary kingship. That means, for example, one king is the you can say empire of a you can say, for example, this is the king. Okay, and he is the king of this territory. This, for example, this is a place, and this place is ruled by this king. Okay, so once he died, who will be the king? His son. Again he died, then his son. So this is called hereditary. Okay, so the hereditary kingship started in the later Vedic period. Due to this, the son of the tribal chief gained his position and became his successor. So as the hereditary kingship started in the later Vedic period, now the son of this king, they started gaining their position, and they become the successor of the king. The power was thus handed down from father to the son, and so on. So now the power of the father was given to the son, and again it continue in the same process.